So you guys know I'm a big believer in not buying a brand new car just because of how quickly it can depreciate. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions, and I recently bought a Tesla Model 3 for my parents. I actually ordered it in 2019, late 2019 for Christmas, surprising my parents with a Tesla Model 3. It actually just got delivered a couple days ago, 2 months later, right? So it took about 1 month more than expected. And one of the questions that I got very often is, after I shared the idea that I bought them a brand new car, is why did I buy a brand new car if, my whole principle when it comes down to, informing yourself about what a car is worth, making sure that you don't overpay, to overall try to minimize the amount of money that you lose, or even be able to make a profit when it comes down to after enjoying the car. One of the things that I began to understand about Tesla, and not just the Tesla Model 3, but a selected number of Teslas, but especially this one, is at least based off of recent prices. And please don't just take my word for it, do your own due diligence. But I live in Arizona, right? And in the Arizona, California, and even neighboring state areas, the Tesla resale market is very small. The Tesla Model 3 resale market is even smaller. And the Tesla Model 3 private party resale market is even smaller than that. And one of the things that I've experienced, and again, there's no disrespect to Tesla owners by any means, but a lot of Tesla owners are very entitled and they understand what it is that their car is worth. They're a little bit more informed, I think, than the average person in selling a car, and it's harder to negotiate with them. No question about it, at least in my experience. And I want to share with you 3 reasons on why I decided to actually buy a brand new car in comparison to buying a private party car. And at the end of the day, I do agree that buying a car private party, especially in Arizona, as a lot of you guys might know, in Arizona, you do not pay taxes in private party sales. I'm from California, and this is not something that people in California do, but when it comes down to Arizona, if I buy a Tesla for $40,000, private party, meaning person to person, not through a dealership, I don't have to pay taxes on those $40,000. So I don't pay, 8 or 10% on the $40,000 on top of the original purchase price. I just have to register the car, and it's even cheaper here in Arizona. One of the things that I do want to remind you and share with you is that if you do buy a car through a dealership, just like when you buy a car through Tesla, although they are not viewed as a dealership, they do charge you taxes. And this is something that, again, did come as a surprise. And one of the things that I want to share with you is, first, what spec did I get? You guys should be able to see it here. I got a Tesla Model 3 standard range. It's literally the cheapest one. With the standard range, it's right under $40,000, I think like $39,990. Whatever it is that they did it to make it right under $40,000 to make it look much better than it is. One of the upgrades that I did choose to go with is, I felt like if I was, going to buy a Tesla for my parents in comparison to buying them a Prius, the only real incentive of a Tesla is not just, again, the brand itself, but the self-driving, right? So now that self-driving costs $7,000. So altogether for the car itself is right under $47,000. I think it's $46,900 and some change, right? When it comes down to taxes and fees and title fees that I had to pay, regardless of what it is, it was right under $5,000. So altogether, when it comes down to the taxes that I had to pay up front, it was right under $5,000. Another thing that they added to my overall dollar amount or overall purchase price is, you guys should be able to see here, it's a destination and document fee. So that's probably a fancy way, and then being able to charge you a low-key dealer fee, which is, again, very common for dealerships, and a $100 order fee, which I believe was added to my overall purchase price, which should have been subtracted. And the total that it came out to was $48,290. And again, a little bit under $5,000 in taxes and fees that I had to pay up front. So I'm in on this Tesla for about $53,000. I got pre-qualified through Tesla for a pretty low interest rate to be able to finance the car. So I thought it was the best of both worlds. And the reason that I decided to go and buy it brand new in comparison to buying it used is, first of all, if you have the option of buying it brand new or buying it used, I feel like night and day, people are always going to want or prefer to buy something brand new. And after doing some analysis on current market conditions, not only in the Arizona area, but in very neighboring states such as California, I also checked out Colorado and Utah, I noticed that the resale market for private party sales were not even that great. And what I mean by that is people were asking $45,000, $46,000, $47,000 for their Tesla. Some of them didn't even have the self-driving or the autonomous driving feature. So what I began to pick up on is that for a couple $1,000s more, and I don't have to do the whole hassle of trying to get a bank then to finance this car if I wanted to finance it myself, right? Is I can then just go directly through Tesla. Instead of getting a pre-owned or a used 2018 or 2019, I can get a brand new with 0 spanking miles. I just understand that it still has that new car smell for about $5,000 more. Trust me, again, I understand that if you're in a position where every dollar counts and you want to save the most money possible, then yes, I do agree that always at the end of the day, especially in Arizona, because you don't pay taxes for private party sales, it would make sense to then go for a private party and just wait for an opportunity to present itself and to hope that a distressed seller that is a little bit less informed sells you the car for $40,000 or for $43,000. That would be, the perfect picture. But what I began to see is even dealerships that were reselling used Teslas were asking $45,000. We're asking $47,000. And on top of that, by buying it through a dealership, you still have to pay dealer fees and taxes on top of that. So we're right back at $50,000. So what I began to think was, okay, well, I'm literally going to be paying the same price if I were to buy it used through a dealership. So why not just buy and pre-order a brand new one for my parents? That was my deciding factor. Again, at the end of the day, the best option, especially if your state does not charge sales tax on private party sales, is to buy a car private party, right? You could inspect it yourself. And then when it comes down to making sure that you can get it below market price, right? I just began to notice that there's very few people selling Tesla Model 3s, and those that were selling it were definitely asking a hefty price for it. There were not any great deals that I saw come out of the market. I was searching Facebook Marketplace, I was searching up Car Gurus, I was searching up OfferUp. There's just not a lot of Tesla Model 3s that are for resale. And because of that, those that are selling it can really, determine that price. Again, I understand that buying a brand new Tesla is not for everyone. So what I would encourage you is if you're buying if you are thinking of buying a either new or used Tesla, is do some research in your surrounding area, your state, and maybe some neighboring states. Look at all reselling platforms, OfferUp, Letgo, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Car Gurus, whatever the case may be. And you will see that, dealerships are pretty much going to be asking very close to what Tesla is already selling a brand new car for, right? And in comparison to private party sales, you will see that people understand that they can charge a premium for their car, especially because you can get it instantly, and the market is not saturated with a bunch of Teslas, right? They really get to determine the price. At least that's what I experienced, and that is why I decided to go with buying a brand new Tesla for my parents, and it made for a nice little surprise. I understand that the Tesla's under warranty. I understand that it's a brand new Tesla. We get that full brand new car experience. It's not for everyone, I understand, but when weighing out my options and seeing what I have to work with, I just decided to go with buying through Tesla. And I just wanted to share my experience on why I did it and not just tell you guys what you guys should do. So I hope that this video informed you a little bit more on the difference in buying a Tesla used in comparison to why I decided to buy it new. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about building out your Tesla, you guys can click the first link down below, mess around with the Tesla application and see if you guys could actually get pre-qualified to buy your own Tesla and if it's actually one that is most suitable for you. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. I hope that I earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to join our free investing group. That's going to be that first link down below. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about our Learn Plan Profit group and watch me day trade live as soon as tomorrow, that's going to be that second link down below. Like always, team, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.